Leo's Legion, week 20 is in the books. Did our team mail it in? But I'll tell you one thing. The 3 down bros, we won't mail it in. We're going to get into it. Third down, short yardage, run defense. We're going to get into it right now. We have Arthur, Roland, and Greg on audio only. He is our voice in the sky in the black in the middle. So welcome. We're all three of us were at the game. We obviously very disappointed with the outcome, and there are a lot of talking points. My high level thoughts were they kind of knew they weren't going to make first in the West, and there were long odds. They tried in the beginning, and it just came down to first and goal at the 2. They unraveled, and after that, the whole team kind of let off the foot off the gas. Roland, what are your high level thoughts?
Well, I think going into the game, we thought the Lions' worst game was the Hamilton game, but I'm going to vote for this Calgary game as being the worst game. But before I go into my high level thoughts, I queued up this one thing I wanna show you guys. Just give me. This was from the TSN broadcast, and I want to just quickly play it.
Retract what we said before this game when we all thought that VA was hitting 5,000 and there was no chance that Calgary would win, but guess what? It's CFL football, anything can happen, but so far so good for Calgary.
So even the TSN analyst was confident at the beginning of the game that Calgary's not going to win this. And we were all surprised that BC didn't win. High level thoughts in terms of what I think happened. I think they were not prepared. They came in during the week saying that they're going to be winning this. They're going to go full out. Campbell and Adams said that. But when they started the game, they were not ready. They were focused on so many things. Maybe Adams was focused on getting the 5,000 yards and was forcing the ball. And when things didn't click after a little bit, things started to unravel. I think the players were frustrated, not just frustrated in terms of Calgary goading them, but I think they were also frustrated with the mixed messages that they were getting from the coaching staff. On the one hand, they're saying we're playing to win. On the other hand, the play calls were not meant to win. Kicking a field goal when they could have had a chance to go into the end zone before the end of the first half. So those are really, really confusing things to me, and I'm sure confusing to the players as well. And I think those are just one of the many factors that contributed to this. So I'm sure we'll go into it as we go into deeper, but my high-level thoughts was, this was a disaster, and I hope that we can get it all together for the semifinals. Greg, what are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, my mama said, if I can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. But my mama also said to be true to myself and be who I am. So WTF was that effort on the night. I posted on that Lions forum that the coaching staff should be ashamed from Campbell on down through the ranks for like you said, Roland, the mixed messages they sent, for the lack of preparation, for the horrendous play calling, and I don't know what's going on. We had 3 or more first-timers to not only a Lions game, but first time to a CFL game, and I even had someone first time to their first professional football game in North America. This gentleman's from New Zealand and is an All Black fan, and he said to me that if the All Blacks, to a man, put an effort in like this on an exhibition game, they're cleaning out their locker. Now, I'm not asking for anybody to be fired, but I don't know. Like, I talk about the X factor, and I think the confusion, the disaster, you know what? Let's just play not to get injured. Let's just play to just get through it because we know we're not going to get first place. That is hazardous because they've just given Calgary's, and I'm going to call it EQ. They've given Calgary's emotional quotient that much more fuel. Calgary's going to come in here in 2 weeks more time, way more confident. And we think we're going to flip a switch, and I hope all the fans I've talked to during the week out there are right, but we better be able to flip that switch and have whatever's ready for that playoff game, or they've not learned anything from last year. Arthur?
Yeah. I mean, there's so many points to go through. I was talking to Roland and say, like last week, why is VA still in the game? And I didn't want VA to play at all this game. Like, to me, there's nothing to be gained apart from him getting 5,000 yards. And to me, I don't care if he gets 5,000 yards. Yeah. I'm caring about what we have our meal ticket quarterback ready for the Western semifinal. So him playing already, I was like, there's other reasons. Hey, you have to have a killer instinct. You want to get him in rhythm, keep in rhythm because the Lions have a bye. But I'm like, no. I think he's banged up. And the first few series, he looked out of sorts.
Yeah.
Roland, what do you think? Let's talk about VA first.
Yeah, those sacks, I think those sacks were on him. He was hanging onto the ball too long because he was trying to go deep. I think. Okay, I'm not in his head, but that's what I think is happening. And how much of the 5,000 yards was in his mind when that was happening, right? I don't know. I mean, I know, based on what we know of his personality, he puts team first, right? Mm-hmm. But maybe this evening, maybe he was thinking of that 5,000. I don't know. I'm just conjecturing. But I can't think of any other reason why he was holding on to that ball. And those sacks killed our drives. So it's a snowball effect, right? He takes a sack, kills our drives, we can't score. Now Calgary has the ball more. Our defense starts to get tired. They get frustrated, and then it just snowballs, right? Going back to what Greg said about mixed messaging too. I would rather if the coaches said, okay, this is a meaningless game. We're just going to try, we're going to get our backups playing, we're going to give people some reps, build your confidence, but it's a meaningless game. Then everyone knows, everyone's on the same page, right? Then there's no frustration. Everyone will be fast and loose, they'll be having fun, they're just enjoying the game, and they're going to come out confident. But coming in saying that you're going to win and then showing a mixed message, you end up losing badly like this, that's going to blow your confidence. So... yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Greg.
Sir.
Your thoughts?
Oh, absolutely. I was chatting with a guy today. Whenever you play not to anything, not to lose, not to get injured, not to jeopardize anything, that is 99.9% going to happen. Play not to get injured. Well, who pops the shoulder out? Lucky. Play not to get injured. Did VA get his knee re-aggravated on any of those many sacks that we gave up? Play not to lose. Well, that's generally when the team that's been hanging around comes back and beats you. Hamilton at home was a soul-sucking loss. Absolutely. You said it yourself, Arthur. This one, I don't know. I mean, if they're playing possum, I'll give them an Academy Award for playing possum. But this could be almost soul-searching. If you were just one game away last year and you guys keep talking, ramping up, we're just going to keep getting better, concentrate on the task at hand, ramping up. So we're at our peak performance come playoff time. This ain't peak. This is a valley. The trends that we talked about on earlier episodes kept sticking their little ugly head up in here, there. We got beaten coast to coast, post to post, and pillar to post again in almost every facet of the game, except maybe special teams. What do you think, Arthur?
Special team. Well, yeah, I'm with you right there for sure. 100%. 100%. They can Calgary control both lines of scrimmages. Apart from the Lions' pass rush. getting in. But of course, some of those late hits, I guess you could say.
I'm not going there.
Let's not go there. No, I mean, I looked at if we're gonna stay in coaching, right? I saw a lot of vanilla defense. I saw a lot of straight up cover one, zone or man defense. So they didn't give him a lot of looks. I didn't really see a blitz too often. Very rarely did they blitz. They played it straight up vanilla. And I think that if you give, a professional football team who wants to win like Calgary, straight defense, and you're keeping Mosier in a cover one position, not in the box. And Rick Campbell said it himself, for our team, in order to stop the run, we need all 12 people engaged to stop the run. And that run they ran it down our throats.
Yeah.
I mean, the good thing is Terry didn't get 100 yards rushing, but Logan got
yeah, exactly.
they both got 231, and yeah, it's just
But that's the thing, right? Why run a vanilla defense if you say that you're wanting to win?
That's right. That is right.
That's the mixed messaging that the players are getting, and I can't help but think that a lot of the frustration is not knowing what they're supposed to do, right? And getting frustrated, and so they end up taking it out on the players, and we're getting penalties, and
yeah.
So it just snowballed down, right?
Looks like there was potential. Well, failures might be a tough word. Maybe not for Greg. I would say that there's maybe some missteps on multiple facets of the football team on Friday.
Yeah.
Fair to say?
Yeah.
And I'm sure we're going to get into it. We're going to get into some of the plays. But yeah, really high level, yeah, it's disappointment on many facets of the organization.
Yeah. All right. So let's take a look at the high level drives. So just the drives for each quarter, kind of look at the ebb and flow, and then we'll jump into the into the plays. So let's bring that up here. All right. So this is first quarter. So we kick off. Calgary has the first offensive drive. They run 6 plays for 71 yards and end up punting. Okay. Then we get the ball. Our first offensive drive, we get five plays for 55 yards. There was a sack there that led to a punt. So again, a sack that killed the offensive drive there. Let's see. So, and then Calgary gets the ball back. They go 7 plays, 48 yards, and they get a field goal, a 21-yard field goal.
They were on our 14-yard line.
Yeah. So that was that was not bad. We were able to stop them and limit them to a field goal. So at this point, our defense hadn't imploded. They seemed to be playing okay. Our offense, had a drive stall because of the sack. But then our next drive, it was a 2-and-out, 3 plays for 35 yards. So we were starting to stall here. Calgary was a 2-and-out here, so our defense was still holding strong. And then our next offensive drive, 2 plays for an interception, and they bring it back down to our 19-yard line. So, next play, next drive by Calgary, three plays to get a touchdown. So now it's 10-0. At this point, defense, when you're on the 19-yard line, it's a first down. It's going to be hard right? That's going to be hard. But they gave up a touchdown, so 10-0. Thoughts on this point at first quarter?
Adams did not look good. I mean, he was just missing guys. Like that interception he just overthrew. Was it Cottoy or McInnis? I mean, he didn't, like, whether he was, there's some pressure on him. He had some heat, right? By that time, he had 2 sacks on him.
Yes.
There was heat on him. Calgary with either getting pressure on Adams with 3 or 4 guys, and then they'd drop back because Lions wouldn't do anything first down. Hardly anything first down. So it's second and long. They drop 8, 9 back into coverage. I mean, and Adams is either trying to like hit a seam or and then he's hesitating, right? We saw him hesitate, and then I get that interception. It was just a poor throw.
Yeah.
He was kind of running, right? I think he was trying to escape some pressure. So it did not look good. It did not. I mean, the defense was kind of doing their job to this point. But yeah, Greg, what do you think?
Well, I thought that first quarter was, I hate to say this, but was VA of old. Ugly play VA, not decisive at all. Deer in the headlights, double clutching, triple clutching. He did not look like he knew what he wanted to do. I'm sure there was a game plan in place from Jordan McSimic, but VA did not look like he had a handle on anything. And, whether this is a win all game or just playing to get through it, you still got to execute. And that looked like those ugly games that we've had where the offense is sputtering. And, I mean, why hold it so long? If you're playing vanilla, then just throw it away.
I think he's
waiting for the place to open.
He's going for the 5,000 yards, I think. That's why he's
I'm with Roland on that one.
Then
he wanted to buy time to get that yardage.
Yeah.
Well, then if they want to lull Calgary into thinking that this is the Lions offense, he's going to sit back there and hold the ball, then, like I said, if they're playing possum, I'm giving an Academy Award right now. Oscar goes to the entire BC Lions organization. But that first quarter was ugly. It did not bode well for any momentum. Our emotional quotient, to me, was just drained before that first quarter was over. Defense is hanging in there. We're going for the big strikes. Doesn't give defense a rest. And then, Calgary comes back with their short, quick dink and dunk game, running us ragged. And it looked like it was going to be a long night. Ro?
All right. So, let's take a look at the second quarter. So, this is Q2. So, the ball gets kicked off after that touchdown. We get the ball back, and again, we go five plays, 36 yards. We get sacked, and we had to punt it away. So that's the third sack now. So still the same pattern, right? With Adams not being accurate and holding on too long. Calgary gets the ball back. They go 6 plays, 44 yards. They punt it away. So not too bad still for defense, I think, at this point. And then we got the ball back. This one was pretty good. We go 10 plays for 87 yards. We hold on to the ball for 5 minutes, 42 seconds. So that was a really good drive. But at the end of that drive, we fumble on the 1 yard line with Davis coming in on short yardage. And that to me was a huge momentum killer. Momentum killer not just for the offense, but I think for the defense too. The defense, I think, I'm sure it affected them because Calgary gets the ball back and they march it all the way down. 13 plays, 109 yards, and gets a touchdown. And then we get the ball back, and we had 26 seconds left when they kicked off. We got the ball with 21 seconds left. We were able to march it down for 33 yards. So actually, that's just one play for 33 yards. We still had, 13, 14 seconds left on the clock. And on the first down, and we choose to kick a field goal. So we got 3 points there.
Why?
So
we'll get into this.
Yeah,
So
we'll go into the play later, but just high level thoughts at this point.
I mean, this is the most troubling quarter. Like, this quarter has exposed a lot of issues with the Lions. Yeah. First of all, I mean, giving up a sack is another thing, right?
Yeah.
And then they march it all the way down. VA's, in a groove. First down to go on the 2 yard line.
Yeah.
You bring in Dominic Davis, and Roland's right beside me. He's like going, Mr. Killjoy right beside me, Roland. He's like, just don't fumble the ball. as Davis is taking the huddle, and I'm like, come on, Roland. He goes, why are they bringing him? I said, it's 3 cracks to get 2 yards. You got to know if he's going to be able to do it now or never, right? If he can't do it...
I guess we know now.
we know. At least we know, right? To me, I'm like, this is a mean-nothing game. You might as well put him in there to see.
That's right.
And, well, we saw. And it was not even close. Like, it was, like, they had a really good close-up. He was... The ball was not in his body. And then Judge came in and in between his body and the ball, like it was like he was carrying it low, like it was like carrying a landmine or something. Like I didn't get it, and and after that it was first down. They ran it out a bit, and the second down, Betts got his sack, but that's the play apparently that Calgary O-lineman spat at Tehama.
Yeah.
But then Tehama, gave him a an uppercut. I guess I didn't see it. We don't have reports of it, and he gets tossed. But if the ref saw the spitting incident,
they didn't see it. I'm sure
they didn't see it.
Yeah, they didn't see it. Yeah.
So
just like a lot of stuff that game they didn't see, but I'll keep quiet.
Yeah. I mean so the Lions lost their poise, and that's what Rick Campbell said in the post-game locker room chat. Like, we lost our poise. We got to get it back.
Yeah.
I just don't see Winnipeg losing its poise.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't seen it in a long time. BC, I guess, we talked about it a lot, is they're still learning how to win. They're still learning how to overcome adversity.
Yeah.
And it just seems like when the Lions are down, they lose it a little bit. And the only way they're going to get it back is if like a big play happens. But there were no big plays coming, or not enough, and they couldn't stop the run.
Yeah.
So those are my thoughts for this.
I mean, there were a few big plays, but they were negated by penalties too. So it's tough when they were unraveling. And yes, definitely on the players, they need to learn how to win. But I still hold on to that. The coaching staff had a part in that too, in the frustration.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
Okay, let's.
Oh, the field goal at the end. We're gonna do a highlight.
Yeah,
so we'll do
the individual plays. Yeah.
All right.
So let's look at Q3. So Q3, we kick off the ball. Calgary gets it. First offensive drive in the second half. 3 plays, 40 yards. They punt. Oh no, sorry, opposite. they kick it off to us, and we do 3 plays, 40 yards, and we punt. And then they get the ball back, and they go 6 plays for 60 yards, and they get a touchdown. Evans is in at this point. So the 3-play 40 yards was his first play action in the game. His second drive, we actually get 13 plays for 75 yards, 6 minutes and 3 seconds possession, and we get a touchdown. So I thought that was not bad for Evans to be able to drive down the field that way, right, from our 35 all the way down to a touchdown. Calgary gets the ball back. They do 5 plays for 54 yards. We get the ball back, and on the first play, we get an interception. So we'll look at that play. I have that queued up. Again, they're at our 15-yard line. So in one play, they get a touchdown. And then they kick it off. That's the end of the quarter. So again, high-level thoughts, talking about just the ebb and flow. We don't have to go down into specific plays, because we're going to look at those plays when we look at each one.
Start with you, Greg.
Well, by this quarter, I've already lost whatever silver linings I was trying to find in this game. Again, the third quarter trend, the fan in me has that hope. And then when we put Dane Evans in, I thought, okay, maybe he can just regain some of that momentum that they've totally frittered away. But the interceptions, that hurt. The lack of a run game, that hurt. The lack of pass protection for Dane Evans that hurt. Yeah, the touchdown was great, but I was just still trying to figure out why by now, and it only took me to the third quarter to notice, why is Mike Benavides coming out and calling the defensive plays? And I remember asking you that at the game, Arthur. Why is RP standing on the sideline, looking disinterested, hands in his pockets, and Mike Benavides is out there? That was the biggest thing I took away from the third quarter.
Maybe they don't want to give Calgary a read on what RP's going to run in the Western semifinal. So they if that's truly the case, like I think Roland did see RP make some hand signals later in the fourth. So maybe they were trading off. Just obviously at this point, winning is not is not the most important thing for the line, or else VA would still be in the game, right?
Yeah.
So, and we can tell by their offensive play calls as well, because they were just throwing to McInnis and Cottoy and Whitehead as the third option. Yeah. They threw twice to Rhymes. I don't even think they threw to him in the second half. And then they could have activated Hatcher.
Well, can I come in for a second there? Can I jump in there for a second? Somebody had reported that he actually had a hamstring, and that was discovered during warm-up, that his hamstring was not going to allow him to start or actually to play.
If it was the Western final against Winnipeg, do you think he plays?
I would hope so.
I think he would have played.
But I just thought, unless they just made up the LBD, the lower body injury or whatever it is. But
yeah. Anyways, yeah. So I think offense play calling is quite vanilla and being very safe, non-dynamic, and I think defensively the same thing. Roland.
Yeah, I mean the silver lining I see here, in spite of the interception, and there's another one later in the fourth quarter for Evans as well. In spite of the interceptions, he got good reps. So he got good reps. He was able to drive down the field for this one here, and later on he drives down the field again in Q4. So I think if we're looking at silver linings, I think it's good that Evans had those reps. And not just reps, actually driving down the field and scoring. The question to Arthur on the point that you made, do you think there were a lot of passes over to our number 3, 4, 5 receivers, right? Cottoy, Whitehead, McInnis. Do you think that was planned, or do you think that was what Calgary was giving us?
It's a bit of both. That's a really good point. They could have, with Hatcher out, then it's easy. Okay, we're going to double Rhymes. But even Holland's only had 5 targets, and he had 3 receptions for 5 targets.
Yeah.
Usually Holland is getting a bit more than 5. And there's no way McInnis and Cottoy get that many targets. And they were lining up in the slot. They're putting Dom out in the wide out a lot, I noticed.
Yeah.
So you're not in the middle of the play. He's pretty safe out there, right? Yeah. He's not going to be he's not going to be involved in any kind of physicality. He's going to be I think they were just saving him. So yeah, he was dressed. Yeah. He was running patterns, but I think they just said, okay, let's see what McInnis and Cottoy can bring us, and with Lucky, let's see what these 3 can bring us. And
yeah, if that was the case, then it's actually not a bad call too, right? Because then you show as little as possible to our to Calgary of our top receivers. We show them our 3, 4, 5 receiver. So whatever they can get from film study there, hopefully won't be won't help them too much 2 weeks down from now. It gives our 3, 4, 5 receivers more reps as well. So maybe it's not, I know we're pouncing hard on the coaching decisions, but maybe that's not a bad call.
And also, we talked about this during the game. We saw how the Calgary DBs were pretty much headhunting the Lions receivers. They were coming in hard and hot.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, wow. I can see why, the Lions D is watching this on the sidelines, and they're getting really, really angry.
Yeah.
I can see why they're trying to tee off on the Calgary offense, but the problem is Calgary was just running it.
Yeah.
And the Lions defense weren't the hammer on those run plays.
Yes.
Nope.
So, but then Lions can't run, so they have to pass, and then their receivers are sitting ducks, and so, yeah.
It's back to not having a run play really severely limits our ability, right? Okay, let's take a look at Q4. Okay, fourth quarter, BC, we get first possession, 2 and out, 3 plays, 42 yards. Calgary gets the ball, 7 plays, they end up punting, so we're able to hold them again there. And then next drive, first play, another interception deep in our territory. They're at the BC 9. But kudos to our defense. They didn't give up a touchdown here. I mean, the game was pretty far, out of reach already. They could have given up a touchdown, but they held them to a field goal. We get the ball back. We drive down 11 plays for 70 yards, and we get a touchdown. We go for a 2-point convert. We miss it. Ashley gets intercepted, so we just get 6 points. We do an outside kick, which was not successful. They get the ball on our 47-yard line. In 3 plays, they march it down, and they get a touchdown.
Yeah.
Then they kick off. We get the ball back with 1:27, and we kneel down 3 times. And then they get the ball back on a loss of possession, and they kneel down 3 times. Oh, that's not a field goal. That's a kneel down 3 times. So, okay, thoughts on this last quarter?
Oh, I let Greg go first. He's chomping at the bit now. Greg, the baton is yours.
Absolutely disgusted, nauseated, sickened, putrid effort, and that is surrendering. We have one guest up from the United States, diehard Seahawk guy. He's like, whoa. And here we're trying to tell him CFL games go to the wire. Yeah, the game was over on the scoreboard, but still, are you trying to protect the player? Fine and dandy, then just run and get hit the hole and go down like you've been doing all game anyway. But taking a knee, heck, I posted out there in social media world, how does Amar Doman feel about this? How the heck is he going to promote the Lions hosting the Western Semi with the effort that they put forth that night? And then taking a knee with 1.5 minutes? The biggest takeaway I got actually is Roland losing it more so than kicking a field goal with 13 seconds left in the first half. It's just like it's a domino effect. Play to be safe. Play, you're not going to get hurt, whatever. But that kind of effort just opens up too many negative cans of worms, knocks over way too many negative dominoes, and I didn't like it. Didn't like it at all. That's my thoughts. Actually, no, that's my opinion. And the thoughts were you can't do that. That hurts the psyche of a team and generates the psyche of the opposition. I
think your thoughts are more colorful than your opinion. Some of that.
I'm smiling here I'm smiling here in virtual world here.
This was, what can I say? Score effects from the Lions getting that touchdown. Stampeders are up so much. So, yeah, Evans marched the ball down, but they're up like over 2 scores. And then you want to pass it. You want to do a little curl pass. We're unloading on your receivers. So you want to do that? We're gonna hit them hard and high every time. So it was like, this is like the worst thing. This is almost the worst thing that could happen, because you don't want to get injured, but you're throwing passes into a defense that wants to tee off on you. Yeah. And I get it. They lost the Lions twice this year, and there's some bad blood, right, with Judge versus Whitehead. So they want to get in the playoffs, so they had to win this game. Yeah. But you made it too easy. Yep. You made it way too easy, and I just we're trying to have BC, we hope, to be in the upper echelon in the CFL with Winnipeg and Toronto. And like Roland and I, we talked about this, since the game. We're like, we don't. When Toronto and Winnipeg are playing their mean-nothing games, they show more heart. They show more poise. They still wanted to win hard. Now the Lions, they say they had a lot of energy, but maybe the urgency wasn't quite there. I just didn't see it at the same level as Toronto, Winnipeg. Roland, your thoughts?
I agree that we did talk about that. I'm still thinking, maybe Winnipeg and Toronto, the coaches went in there and said, look, this game means nothing. Go and have fun. And then the players say, okay, we're gonna have fun. I mean, the competitor in them still says we're gonna go all out and we're gonna win this. But it's not a mixed message. It's a very clear directive, right? And maybe had the BC coaching staff given them the same message, we would have had a different result, right? They would have been fast and loose and having fun, and just making plays, right, and having fun. But the way it is, where they're getting mixed messages, where yes, we want to win, but then the play calls are don't make sense, and they get frustrated, right? Going back to what Greg said, yes, at the game I was livid when I saw them, take a quote victory formation with a minute 27 left. I was livid because you don't just give up. You don't ever give up on a game. But that was 3 days ago, and now that I've kind of had some time to think about it, and watching the game over again and making similar observations to Arthur about how our players were getting hit. The game is out of reach here, like with a minute 27. If we ran a few plays, there's like, a 5%, 3%, 1% chance someone might get injured at the end of a meaningless game, and then they won't be available for the semifinals. So I see the reasoning behind it. I don't like it as a fan, but I see the reasoning there. And I guess moving on with that thought, do you think that when we came into the game that Rick Campbell was thinking, we don't have to win this, even though he said that during the week that we were going to win? And if he was thinking that we're going to win this, at what point in the game did he change his mind? Because by the end of the game, it was very clear that he had changed his mind, that we don't need to win this.
I think he came into the game saying, hey, if we can win, we win. Was he putting a lot of was it a win at all cost kind of game? No. Or else they would have put broad hats already. Right?
Yeah.
It wasn't win at all costs. And to me, in order for you to show a football team you want to win, you win at all costs. Right? And it's not like, oh, we're gonna try to win 80%, right? You try to 110% to win. So I thought that he was already showing that this wasn't that important. But of course, try to win. But definitely, I think after the fumble at the 1 yard line on that 1st and goal with Dominic Davis, and with the team taking, Tuhema getting ejected, and then Betts getting a roughing the passer on a marginal call, I may add.
Yeah.
And then they march it all the way down and get the touchdown. I think after that he goes, and then he said it, right? He goes, I didn't want Dane Evans to come into the game. At that time, he already thought, okay, Dane Evans, you're coming in for the second half already. And he didn't want Dane Evans to have zeros on the scoreboard at the start of the second half. So that's why he kicked the field goal. He goes, yeah, we could have moved it in there, but let's just make sure we get zeros. Because he's afraid VA is going to go in the end zone and throw another interception. And then there'll be zeros on the board, and the Lions are thinking, oh, we haven't scored a point in a half of football. So there's 3 points. Let's just take it so we don't get a goose egg. And then Evans comes in. He's down by 14 to start the half, and the Lions have the first possession in the second half. They get a touchdown right away. They're down by 7, and they're being thoroughly outplayed. And maybe in that world, he thought that they could kind of resurrect the win. What are your thoughts, Greg?
Again, I'm a lot less venomous than I was Friday night, but there's still a pretty half full bottle here of venom. I'm not professing to be a professional coach, but coached enough teams at enough levels that, okay, if you're going to come in with a vanilla preseason game plan, let the players know. And then, I know we talked about what you say to the media, what you say in the locker room have to be two different things. Well, then don't even say you're going to win to the media. We're going to put our best effort forward and see what happens. That is what, if you said that and the players were of that, then there's none of that mixed message that Roland's talking about. And if you can win with the vanilla plays, which I doubt because Calgary's coming gangbusters, I am still a firm believer you got to play 110% when the other team's coming 110% to stay alive physically. You're getting teed off like that and you're playing half-ass vanilla football because the game doesn't matter. When you have that thought, the game doesn't matter, you're not coming at 110%. You need to give that effort to stay healthy. Whether you score or not, that 110% effort, well, yes, I get it. That ramps up the competitor in them and thus the frustration boils over. But if the message was clear from the coaching staff, you know what, we got to give it 110, stay healthy. But you know what, this is the game plan we're going in with because this is why we are going. They need to know why, and I don't think they did, which is why a lot of the frustration was there. And yeah, I don't believe you give up halfway through. You should have had that plan from the get-go.
And one last point, I didn't like the 3 kneel downs on offense in the end of the game.
Yeah.
They're down. I think that, I know what Campbell said is, what's the point on running inside the tackles? There's nothing to prove there. We're not going to score anyways. And, what's to learn? So, you know what? And he just treated this like a preseason game.
Yeah.
Definitely in the second half.
But was that communicated to the players in that locker room?
Well, we just don't know. But
No,
I think the players. The players know. We're running very vanilla. Do you guys want to win this game? We're being outcoached again. Are we gonna try to win this game? Are we gonna dictate? Or are we just gonna sit back and let this happen to us? Right? As a player, you got to get a bit frustrated if they're just playing cover 1, straight up defense.
Yeah.
And then on offense, I don't know how many plays they had, but it was pretty much try to run Hardy. Hardy ran 11 times. Yeah, he ran 11 times, and they're just spreading the ball around. But basically, McInnis and Cottoy are in the slots, and they're just going to them. Maybe Whitehead a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
I think you're sending a message with your play calling.
Okay, so I think let's take a look at some of the let's take a look at the individual plays. And I've got some plays queued up. We talked about the high level kind of ebb and flow. So let's take a look at some plays from the first quarter. So this here is Adams' first pass. So he was a little bit too far out. Hollins caught it, but he was already out of bounds. So that was that first pass there.
We had a good view of that pass, Roland. We're like, that was just, he led him too far.
Yeah.
We're already thinking, not good.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's right. And then same drive. It's this play here. So that one was not bad. That was to McInnis, 13 yards.
Mm-hmm.
13 yards to McInnis. So same drive. And then There's still the same drive. We get sacked here.
Yeah, that he should have.
Yeah.
Is that's counted as a sack, right?
Yeah, that was a sack. That was a sack. So
But maybe he was already wrapped up before.
maybe he counted it as a sack. So he held on to the ball for a while. Could the O-line have done better? Yeah, for sure. Our O-line has been weak on the pass rush. So it's a combination of both, right?
They blitz 5, and they had 6 back there because Hardy. I still see Hardy there.
Yeah.
So six protecting 5, and it's probably man coverage. No, maybe zone. Yeah. Then here comes someone else, and then.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. And the linebacker came in to
cover
spy on Hardy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And look at Always back. He's like 12 yards deep on his drop. Yeah, they're doing a zone defense. It looks like.
Yeah.
It's hard to see because I don't see the backfield. I mean the secondary, but yeah.
Yeah. So this
You're
85
dropping
was
so many people.
it was 85 who made the sack, right? The Calgary 85. He kind of
So
yeah. So that's him here. He kind of goes around here and then gets.
looks like they were double teaming one guy, and that guy turned the guard turned his back, and then all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Maybe Harder should have flared out a little bit quicker, but I mean, hey, this is his second CFL. And given VA an option, but anyways, their linebacker's closing. 2nd and 6, right? I mean, yeah, 2nd and 6. Oh yeah, so yeah, it is the same. Yeah, it's 2nd and 6.
So yeah. So that killed the drive, and then we punt, and then this happens on the punt. So this was I'm looking for little positives. So here's the punt return, and Siddiqui gets a big hit on the returner. So this is Siddiqui right here. So a little positive. Trying to look
Special teams, man.
Yeah, trying to look for positives. Okay, this one here. So it's a Calgary punt return. Oh, no, sorry. I don't have it queued up. Okay, so I'll skip that one. Okay, next one here is our 3rd offensive drive. And Adams gets sacked again. It's on a 1st and 10. So this one was pretty fast. The Calgary guys were right in there. So
Judge beat him to the outside.
yeah, the 2 guys get through. So
2 guys came through.
So Hardy should have stopped Judge. This left tackle was gonna help, but they both miss. And then this guy here also gets through.
Comedy of errors there.
Yeah. So 2 guys
What do you
get
think,
through.
Greg? Comedy of errors there.
Same old. Keystone Cops. Fire drill, call it what you will, cliches, metaphors. It's the same old, a confused looking O-line. If they're coming in with vanilla pass blocking schemes, I would have just kept their regular ones, give them some practice. But I just not liking it.
All right, so then same drive. It's now 2nd and 13. So pass the ball. It's a little bit too high. I think that was McInnis, right? Intended. This guy looks like.
Rhymes?
Is it Rhymes or McInnis? Can't see. It's either 18 or 19, right? But anyway, it was.
I'm only audio. I can't see.
roll
was-
it a little bit more.
It was way too high for him. So there's no way he could have caught that.
Oh, if it was the high one, that was Ryan. If it was over his head and he by the sideline,
Yeah,
that was Ryan.
maybe it's McInnis.
Hard to say.
Yeah, it's McInnis. Actually, it is McInnis. Yeah, I think it is McInnis. 18. Yeah, 18's coming back in that angle. 19's on the other side. Yeah, it was McInnis.
Yeah, so that was first interception that killed the drive, and then we get to the end of the first quarter, and these are the stats: 6 first downs for Calgary, 1 for us, 42 passing yards versus our 13, 40 rushing yards versus our 8, net yards of 82 for them, 16 to us, and 2 quarterback sacks for them. So not looking good the first quarter. And Arthur, you've said this all along, right? If we don't start up strong, then we end up, not very unlikely for us to be able to get back. Right?
For me, the Lions, they get their confidence by their offense executing and just through the passing offense, lighting it up, and their defense getting sacks.
Yeah.
That's how they get their mojo going, and obviously their offense was sputtering. VA had a very tough first quarter, and on defense, for whatever reason they couldn't get pressure with four guys at this point in the game. And one thing though, and we haven't touched on it yet, is Meyer went deep for two bombs in the early of the game, and both Calgary receivers dropped easy catches.
Exactly.
Definitely.
And one would have got a touchdown, and then the second one was deep. I mean, that's 60, 80 yards more passing. This game would have got a lot uglier faster if those 2 catches were made. And one was when Bigleton was, I couldn't believe he dropped that.
Yeah.
His first game back. Let's give him a pass.
But I remember one of the bros, I'll let him identify himself, was saying, shouting from the stands. Someone gonna own up to that.
I didn't hear what you were saying, so I can't claim responsibility at all. I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, you didn't hear what I said?
No, it got muffled. I didn't hear a thing.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Greg has a little video difficulties this evening, so we hope to have him back in his full form next 2 weeks from now, next week.
Yeah. All right, so we go into the second quarter now. So this is second quarter, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is our first offensive drive in the second quarter. Let me play that for you. It's a 2nd and 10, and we get sacked the 3rd time. So
4-man pressure.
Yeah.
Hardy's still in there. No, he bleeds out.
Yeah.
And then there's a pump. And then
Yeah. We've seen this way too often in this season. Our O-line's not able to hold their blocks, right? So we end up punting it away. Calgary gets the ball. They drive 6 plays, 44 yards. They punt it also, and then we get the ball back on our 22-yard line, and so we start marching it down. So I wanted to show you some plays from this drive. Here's one to McInnis, a 14-yarder. So, this is a third and 2.
Yeah.
A 3rd and 2, and we pass to McInnis for 14 yards. So, That's good and bad. So two things here. The good thing was that on a 3rd and 2 where he needed to make that catch, McInnis was clutch. So that I highly respect him. So that's a good. The bad is that on a 3rd and 2, the better play is to run it, right? You should be able to get 2 yards. But because our running game is non-existent, our coaches are afraid to call that play because if we try to run on a 3rd and 2, that's not a given, right?
Well, even 1st and 2 is not a given. That's too soon. That question was too soon.
Yeah, it was. But that's why it limits our play calling, right?
100%.
It really limits our play calling. So I like the fact that he caught it, 14 yards, but I don't like the fact that we have to go to a higher risk play on 3rd and 2 like this. Okay. So still the same drive. This one later on is on a 1st and 10. We pass to Cottoy. So it's a nice 16-yard gain. And then same drive still. It's a 1st and 10. We're on the 19-yard line. We pass to Cottoy. I was hoping that he would be able to drive into the end zone when we saw this play, but he got stopped at the. I think that was the 2-yard line, right? Yeah.
Because you knew at that point short yardage wasn't for sure.
He actually stumbled here. Okay. I guess number.
Yeah, he had contact.
Yeah, number three pulled his feet there. Yeah, it's hard. There's like 5 red shirts around him, so that would have been tough. Would have been better if he made it, but that was a nice play. I have a replay here.
It would have been very interesting. Yeah, this was kind of dumb.
Yeah, so this was his celebration. I mean, he always celebrates like this, right?
Yep.
Everyone does that.
But this guy kind of got trapped underneath his arms there.
Yeah.
At the game, I thought that was unintentional. Mm-hmm. And I thought that the Calgary player kind of walked into his path.
He did.
Accidentally on purpose?
I don't know.
Yeah. And then, of course, the helmet goes off very easily.
Yeah.
And then,
So the flag gets thrown there. But initially, it was just a call on Cottoy, wasn't it? And then they called it...
yeah, they called it
both ways, yeah. Okay, and then the next play we have is the one that we hope to never see again. This is the 1st and goal on the 2-yard line with Davis coming in. Takes the ball. Yeah, and he fumbles
Where's
it right
the ball? Is it like, where is it in his, by his stomach?
It's free already here, so let me back up.
Why is it so low? Oh, it's there. It's tucked.
Yeah, it's tucked under his left arm. His right arm is free, and I think this guy, this Calgary guy, when he makes contact with Davis, either punches it out or hits it out, because you can see the ball coming out here now. You see the white stripe on the ball there.
All right, so the center, where's Couture?
Couture's under the pile already.
But you see, like, there's 2 Calgary guys right there. Like, if he goes more to his left, like, what happened? So the two tackles go down, which is a smart move, right, Greg? They kind of go down and become a barrier.
Yep, they have to go. They got to go low because he should be low behind them. Like his helmet should be right on their butt cheek, right on their hip. Because see that Calgary, I think it's I can't see the video here, but
Yeah.
That Calgary linebacker he's coming over top, much like Big Hill went and tagged that Cornelius in that game. They're looking for the quarterback to jump over top, and Davis does not get down to save his life. I don't know why.
I don't like. I mean, like, I wasn't chill. I mean, I was like, okay, Roland, it's not gonna fumble. It's just first down and from the 2, he's just gonna sneak it, and it's gonna be hard to fumble. I was thinking that to myself as you said it before the play, and then of course, I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah. Quite a lot of things. You see the left guard here. The left guard, instead of going low, he tries to hurdle his guy. I mean, when he leaves his feet like that, he has absolutely no leverage. No leverage at all, and he's not pushing anyone back.
So Alway was then he could have, like, if he launched and maybe got a piece of Alway, which is 57.
Yeah.
Now, this is.
He was just hurdling. He wasn't pushing anyone.
But don't worry, guys. Rick Campbell said their number one priority, it's on his whiteboard, was to practice short yardage. They said they've been talking about it for a bit, but
all season
they will practice it this week. So don't you worry, Lions fans. It's on their whiteboard, to be practiced.
All the remaining short yardages from here on, Davis didn't play anymore. It was Evans who did all the short yardage from this point of the game till the end. If you ask me, I don't think we should use Davis for any of the postseason games for short yardage.
Yeah, the last time he blew one really bad was, of course, Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he didn't fumble, but he lost him on third and inches.
Yeah.
This is pretty sad to see.
Yeah. I was so upset. I was saying he had one job to do and he couldn't do it. Just one job, right? That's all he does for any games.
He used to be good at when he was in Montreal.
When he played against us.
Used to be.
Yeah.
Obviously, something's off.
If there was a turning point for the game, I would say this was it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it was all downhill after that.
Yeah. So
Calgary had all the confidence in the world after that. They're up by whatever it was, and then that didn't turn the tide in our favor at all.
So Calgary gets the ball back, and then this one is where Betts gets the sack. So this was, a nice play. It looked like two guys got to the quarterback around the same time, but on slow motion, Betts made contact first. So they awarded.
I think it's going to be Barrett and Betts, isn't it?
It's Barron and Betts, yeah. So Betts makes contact first. He's awarded the sack, and he breaks the record for the most number of sacks by a Canadian. So it's well deserved. I mean, Betts has been a beast the whole season, so it's well deserved. But this play that should have been a celebration play is overshadowed by this hit right here.
That was, and then
So he
unnecessary. Obviously, the play is over. He's away from the ball.
So to Hema, who himself is also a beast, for whatever reason decides to headbutt Calgary number 60. And then, but that's not the only thing, because here's another replay of the sack here. So here we see Tehema hit him.
Did he use his shoulder to hit his chin, or is 60 kind of
embellishing?
Well, it
looks like he shoulder to
shoulder to the chest here, but helmet to the face mask here.
Oh yeah.
Is he taller than Tehema?
Tehema goes down so he goes down and
he launches up.
Yeah.
It's hard to see. Yeah.
I mean, it was still unnecessary.
Okay, let's
But
see if we can see a spit here.
in Tehema's defense, we've watched him play all year. Yes,
Yes.
we have never seen him lose his cool. Even against
No, he's a repeat offender according to Rick Campbell.
Yeah, but not just once. So later on, after they exchange some words, he does this second hit right here, and then a punch.
I think that's when the spit happened.
So yeah, he claims that he was spat on. So if that's true, then maybe it's around here somewhere. You can't really see with the video.
right there, where his
Yeah,
face
I mean,
goes down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you think at this point number 60 spits on him and he moves his head to avoid the spit?
Well, no, he got hit, so it's you kind of
Yeah.
take it back. You take up, and someone spits you in the face, you take it back, right? You're like, oh,
Yeah.
and then you're pissed, and then
and then he smacks him up there. So because of that, he gets 2 unnecessary roughness. Number 60 gets 1, and Tehema gets ejected.
No, it's 2 misconducts because unnecessary roughness.
Oh, okay,
is
2
one thing. Yeah,
misconducts.
misconducts.
So how come 60 got 1 penalty? I'm trying to understand it, right? I mean, so like this is where the NFL does explain what happened.
Yep.
Right? They'll say this did this, this did this, but here it's just here are the penalties. That's it.
Yeah, I don't know. I see 60 is goading him here.
Oh yeah. Calgary knows the Lions will lose their cool, and the whole league knows. So Calgary's doing it. Calgary's been doing it and trying to make the Lions, get them off their game, and they were very successful.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, he gets ejected, and that's tough because he's a huge part of our D-line. So for him not to play, it's a big hole, right?
I think arguably he's having a better second half than Betts.
In the second half of the season?
Second half of the season.
Yeah. I thought you meant the game. I was thinking, how can he's like in the locker room?
Sorry, second half of the season, I think he has more impactful plays.
Yes.
Mind you, everyone's keying on, their other teams are keying on that. So.
Yeah, that's
definitely.
Right. They are keying on it. All right, so same drive, Calgary. This drive gets extended. Actually, this sack would have killed the drive had it not been for this penalty.
Because it was the second misconduct.
Yeah. So it gets extended and they take full advantage of it. So they march it all the way down. Goal line stands here, and you can see. Look at this.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a gigantic white line. A gigantic white line here. You're gonna stand. Why is your foot over the line? Like I just cannot understand this. Like, are the coaches not telling the players this? They just expect the players to know.
Oh no, it's 1 yard off the line. I mean, it's a mental. They weren't sharp.
I mean, this is Rugamba, right? 33. Yeah, 33.
Yeah.
33. So, yeah, I don't know. So, I mean, it still ended up being a touchdown, but had it not been a touchdown, that would have been a penalty. So,
it's on the BC 44. They get a big catch downfield.
So, which play are you talking about?
The one that you started and then you reversed.
Okay, the next one. Yeah.
Yeah, next one.
So the next one is. Yeah, the next one is our drive. Yeah. So on the BC 44, 1st and 10. This one is another McInnis catch. So definitely McInnis was on point for this game. He's got so many good plays, right? And then Then after that, we're down to
32, 33 yard line.
yeah, and then our field goal team comes out and we kick a field goal. So yeah, I still think we should have tried for the end zone. I don't get the reasoning that Campbell provided for this. Yeah, he was saying that the clock's not going to stop, so the clock's going to start running. So he didn't want to burn a timeout. We still had 2 timeouts here. He didn't want to burn a timeout, so he thought just get the 3 points. But it's 17-0. Even if you burnt the timeout, and if you have a chance of getting a touchdown, that would have been 17-7. It would just be 10 points. I think that would have been a better move. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I wouldn't burn a timeout. I would have went for the end zone. But mind you, they probably would have done a cover 3. I would have just tried to go to the end zone.
Yeah.
And if not there,
So
most likely it's a low risk. And then for Adams to drop back and let a receiver get 40 yards downfield, he's gonna probably face some heat, and he put in at that time he's like already thought Adams was done for the game. He goes, okay. Mm-hmm.
Adams was limping, right? When did that happen?
Well, this throw to McInnis was his last throw, right? So he didn't want Adams to take another hit, because you'd have to run a play 8-9 seconds, and he's gonna probably get hit if you're gonna launch into the end zone. If he didn't want to burn a timeout, then you're going for a sideline, you're going for the end zone, taking a shot. Most likely Adams would have taken a shot, and I think he's already limping, because this is that pass was his last play.
Yeah.
So I think deep down Campbell says, okay, we're on our 44.
But do you remember when in the game he started limping? I can't remember now.
No idea. But I think Campbell's we're on our 44 with less than 30 seconds left. If I can get 3 points and get out of this half with some points, I'm gonna do it. Right? They probably didn't expect McInnis to get all that yardage in one play. Maybe they thought it would take 2 or 3 plays to get into field goal range.
Yeah.
So maybe that had something to do with it. He didn't want to burn a timeout. And like I said earlier, 17-3 is a lot better than 17-0. And then Dane Evans coming in.
Yeah.
We have 0 points scored, and then the pressure's on. Now you're.
With 13 seconds left on the clock, could you not have run at least one play without burning a timeout?
You have to go to a sideline. You get down, right? Just last week, right? They had 8 seconds left, and they threw it 10 yards, and they got down.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they kicked the field goal, right? So they could have, but you got to get. You're going for a touchdown, right? Question is, are you wanting Adams to take another hit? Already he's thought Evans is coming in for at this point, he already thought Evans is coming in for the second half.
Yeah. I don't know how long Adams was limping by this point, but he already played with the limp, right? So, one more play where he hangs in there. I don't know. I guess it's the desire to win, right? So if what this tells me, and what probably is telling the players too, is that when I go for a field goal, that I'm no longer going for the win,
right? Yeah. Or I don't have full confidence in the offense. Number one.
Yeah.
I'm playing it too safe. I think it says more about I'm being too conservative.
Yeah.
I'm being too safe. Versus I don't have confidence in the offense to execute. 13 seconds, and you got to get maybe 2-3 plays in.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it might be too soon, but
yeah.
Winnipeg
I mean,
at the end of a half.
If that's the message, then that's gonna get the players all confused too, right? Because they did it last week, right? They were able to get a play out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if this was the best call. Not just from a game perspective, but also from a player morale perspective, right?
Yep, emotional quotient.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the end of the first half. These are the stats. 14 first downs to 8, 99 passing yards to 116. We had more passing yards at this point. Rushing yards is 93 to 23. Net yards is 182 to 126. Turnovers 0 to 2. So that's a huge one. And then 14 points off of turnovers.
Oh.
So if you took those 14 points off, it would have been a tie game. So that's a huge difference.
It could have easily been 10-3 Lions at the end of the first half.
Yeah.
They get a touchdown to the fumble. They had another interception that became a field goal. This game could have been completely different than on this side.
Yeah.
And you're talking if the 2 Calgary bombs that were gimmies were still dropped.
Yeah, I mean, this could have been 27 to 3 Calgary. So
yeah, they just held off and didn't do that until later in the game.
Yeah.
All right, so we're now in the third quarter. So this one is our first offensive possession. Oh no, so Calgary's first offensive possession.
Mm-hmm.
So it looked to me like Betts got a sack there.
Yeah.
But they called him for roughing the passer. So
Threw the ball?
This ref throws the flag here. No, the ball never got out, but they called him for, I guess, a high hit or something.
Yeah, like we want to know. Like that's the thing. CFL should announce what was the port that was the offense.
Yeah,
The offense.
you see, it's a bit hard to see here, but if you look at Mayer's helmet, it does move when Betts gets there, and it could have been a helmet-to-helmet hit. So maybe that's what the ref called.
But you see the other, so that's the umpire, right? Greg, the one in the white hat, and then the black hat is the ref, the head referee, and he had a good look. The umpire's right behind. I hope they discussed it, but
I don't think they did. Again, and then I don't have the greatest video feed where I am right now. But is it? The crowd is off the video that I've got. Could it be anybody else's reason? Like maybe a body hitting Mayer to make his helmet? I can't.
I mean,
see.
it's hard to see in this replay. It's hard to see what is.
So I'm just wondering, without that whole crowd there, his body jostles, his helmet gets slipped back.
There's another Lions player here that gets Mayer from behind. So Betts makes contact, and that Lions player also wraps Mayer up from behind. So it is possible what you're saying is that between the two of them sandwiching Mayer, it just jostles his head, and so that's a possibility.
But it's so hard to. I mean, it's so we don't have a great. This is not a great shot, so it's hard to come up with anything here.
I mean, I was of the mind that, like the sack where Betts got the record, where he made that first contact on super slow-mo, I was of the mind the referees had made up their minds that Betts isn't going to get the record no matter what. You know what I mean? Any sack he gets, there's going to be something. It was just trending that way, and it just looked. It made our league look really amateur. The officiating that night.
Yeah, not a good game to bring my friend from the NFL.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
And then,
I mean, we as a home team don't even get a replay on the screen. Never mind going to the trouble to explain the call. We don't even get to see the call again. I don't know if that's a command center thing, if that's a CFL production televising. I'm sure the television you must get a replay of it.
yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I know in some of the other sports you're not supposed to show controversial plays.
Yeah. So, anyway, same drive. So this extends the play again because of that penalty. And then Calgary's now on our 30-yard line. And then this play happens.
Yeah.
So, he doesn't make it into the end zone here, but that one is a 27-yard rush.
Oh.
27-yard rush. So our run defense, which has been really weak all year, seemed to have improved the last few games, but here we can see that it's not.
They had 2 O-linemen taking on both our linebackers in the second tier. See that? Boo.
Yeah.
Because they had how many? You have 7 guys on the line. They had 7 guys on the line.
Yeah.
And 2 take out 2 of our linebackers.
That's right.
And then that's why. And what was smart is they had that one receiver going from left to right in motion, which pulls, I believe, Moje from the box. Smart play call.
Yeah.
And then Logan hits the A gap. Or no, B gap, but still, what a great cut in.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then who misses that block? Oh yeah, someone went low.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 9 is
9 is the new guy, right? Jones.
Mike Jones.
There's Moje coming in on pursuit. So Moje was actually out of the box. It was another. Not sure who that. Oh yeah, it was someone else playing in the middle of the box, the back of the box. Got pulled up. 9 pulled out.
Number 6 is it?
And then Rugumba's way out to the right. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, there's just you're right, Arthur. There's a really good play call, good blocking by Calgary.
Yeah, because they rotated all their receivers from the left to the right, and then they had one guy, and they pulled him out. So basically, it's a good play.
Yeah.
It's nice to have like a power running back and then a quick guy. You could use the tandem.
There's a hold.
Their power running back ain't too slow either, though.
There's a hold right here. That was missed, and that's actually on the point of attack too.
Yeah, that
was on the point of attack.
That's okay. They only call roughing the passer. So
look at that. He has his head in a headlock.
That happens a lot to our D line because they're so small,
Small and fast.
Yeah.
By design.
But not fast enough to get to a quick release quarterback.
Well, not fast enough and definitely not big enough. But I mean, that's not on them. It's just the scheme, right? The scheme works. But we know how to. I don't know if it's going to work well in November in the prairies.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We got to get there first, boys.
Well, that's true.
Got to get out of our own Western semi first. And as we're discussing this one, I don't have a lot of confidence.
All right, so then they get a touchdown out of this. We get the ball back, and then this was the long drive that Evans puts together. 13 plays, 75 yards. So I've got a few plays from here. Here's a McInnis 10-yard pass. So Evans was scrambling right after the snap. So that was intended. He gets out of the pocket. Still 2 guys on him, but he gets the ball out. So McInnis gets the catch there. Forward progress is a first down. Okay. And then same drive. So here, this one is now to Cottoy. This is second down, and I guess 2 or 3. So, 3 yards, 2nd and 3. We don't go for a run, so it's
2nd and 3. Yeah, the linebackers are like 4 yards behind the first yard. 5 yards if they're draw.
Yeah.
And they throw
So,
and
so
then they
Evans
rally.
Evans is pretty clear here still. He could have thrown the ball already, right? There are like 3 guys that potentially could have made the play.
Oh, Calgary's playing pretty soft. I mean, they're up 21, right? They're playing
Yeah.
pretty soft.
Evans cocks the ball, pulls it back in, runs, and then passes it to Cottoy. All right. So you think Calgary's just
Hardy,
giving?
you could have passed to McInnis.
Yeah.
Like,
So you think Calgary's just giving us that one?
I mean, it looked
It
pretty
looked like it,
obvious.
right?
I mean, they had 3 guys that are open. They
Yeah.
could have, any of them could have got the first down. In my opinion, they're playing soft, and they're up by 21.
Yeah.
And if they can, they're not scared. I don't think they're scared of the Lions QBs at this point.
Nope.
And maybe they're gonna get some licks in on the receivers too, right?
Yeah. All right. So next one here, same drive is 12 yards to Cottoy. This is 3rd and 7. 3rd and 7, we go for it, and Lucky brings it down.
Oh, that's a contested catch, all right.
With 2 guys near him. A 3rd one ready to make the hit too. So that's a pretty gutsy pass, but pretty clutch for Lucky to pull that into. A 3rd and 7, and we go for it. So you see, I'm confused, right? 3rd and 7. Are we still trying to win the game here? 3rd and 7, we don't punt, we go for it, and we get 12 yards. Like, is that mixed messages again? We're kind of not wanting to get hurt, but at the same time still wanting to be aggressive.
Yeah, and it doesn't. Yeah, I agree. I see what you're saying. It doesn't flow.
Yeah.
I mean, you're aggressive. All right, 3rd and 7. Then weren't you aggressive in some of the other play calls?
Yeah.
But yeah.
So that's why I think that plays a part in the players' frustration, right? Because they don't know what to do. Am I supposed to be aggressive in this play, or hold back in this play and be aggressive in the next play? That confusion can cause a lot of issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So same drive. This one now is to Hollins for 6 yards. So I wanted to
Look at that.
I wanted to get your thoughts. He takes a hit there, but he made sure he got the first down, which is, that was a hit. Evans scrambling here. Is there anything that he's doing that maybe is there anything he's doing that's better than Adams?
Greg, go for it.
Again, my video feed is here and there, guys. I mean, he seems to be buying time, and I felt Evans threw with a little more decisiveness than Adams. Not a lot, but again, how many number 1 reps does he get? But I don't know. He just seemed to make quicker choices.
Yeah.
And he had some good zip on his ball. I mean, that's what I noticed. But to me, he just made a faster choice, and didn't double clutch, didn't second guess himself.
Because there's only 3 guys rushing. 3 guys rushing, so that means they have a lot more people on coverage.
Yeah, I think he's he went to his second. Looks like he went to his first read is on the right. Not sure who he's looking at. It's hard to see from this angle. But then in the second read, looks like Holland's a little bit more open than the guy that was standing on the sideline on top there. I think so. He just hesitated, and I think he just rolls out pretty quick, and then he gets rid of it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he feels like he's like VA. I'm in the open field. I can make people miss. And so he says, you know what, I'm going to throw.
Yeah.
So it looks like he's a bit quicker, more decisive.
Yeah, more decisive.
After like 1 or 2 reads, and then he like rolls out, and then if I can't find someone, run.
Yeah.
Versus hang on to it, wait for something to develop.
Yeah. Maybe like VA has he puts a lot of trust in his receivers to win 50-50 battles. But I think there must be some type of hesitation with him because he doesn't also want to throw an interception.
Yeah.
But then he does, on one vein, he doesn't want to throw an interception. On the other vein, he thinks that the receivers can win a lot of 50-50 battles.
He's battling himself.
Well, obviously, yeah. So it's kind of hard. But Evans, he's just like, done. And, it's 4 yards. He got like 2 open receivers, 1 up top, and should have just passed to the first guy, but... And maybe he thought something else was materialized, and then the pocket collapsed on him, so he got out. Okay, I'll get it. I'll get it to Hollins now.
Yeah. All right. So the next play on the same drive here. This one is now 2nd and 10. This one goes to McInnis for 16 yards. 2nd and 10.
Yeah.
So
3 Stampeders sitting in that little hook.
Yeah.
The linebackers are dropping beyond the around the first yardage marker, and nice pass on 2nd and 10.
Yeah.
Good catch.
And great effort. He won't go down.
Lots of zip on that ball too.
Good zip, and then he absorbs contact, and they were coming.
Yeah.
They were coming, that's for sure.
He keeps pushing, but at this point I was thinking, how come they're not blowing the whistle when in some previous game they blew the whistle right away?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
They were just curious to see how much punishment McInnis could absorb before they blow the whistle.
But you see, what I like about Calgary is look how many defenders there. Everyone rallied.
Yeah.
Like how many defenders are there? And then
Almost
2 other guys are coming in, and they're all coming in, and they're like rallying.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you're having fun, right? They were having fun at this point.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Can I ask a question?
All right.
When was the last time we saw lions swarm like that? Can anybody remember? Aggressively swarm. 2 to make the hit, the rest to get that ball up.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
The whistle's happening too. I don't remember seeing that for a while.
I saw it earlier in the season. We did see it.
Yeah. Earlier in the season.
Yeah. When we were riding high, people were having fun. It's all in the mind, right? When you're having fun, you end up making more plays. So, all right. So then we're now on the 7-yard line, 1st and goal. We do a run. We don't do that many runs, but this was a run, and we get 5 yards. And then the next play. So it's now second and goal. We do another run, and we make it in. So.
They probably didn't expect we were gonna run.
All right. Okay, so then that was good. Calgary gets the ball back, and they go 5 plays. They punt. Then we get the ball back, and Evans throws for an interception.
This is the tip.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, the tip.
Yeah. So that was tipped right there with the guy right in front of his face.
I think it's when McInnis opened in the flat there.
Yeah. Actually, on the replay, I thought he was gonna go to
deep.
Yeah. I don't know if I have it here.
Oh, okay, there's Lucky and there's... Wait a minute.
I thought he was...
There's
Okay.
Lucky and there's Rhymes,
Yeah,
like
there's-
running the same pattern.
But
What?
if you look, I think Lucky has beat his man deep. So
There's
if
two guys beside each other. This
see-
makes no sense.
but if Lucky got the ball,
Yeah.
he's all the way in for a touchdown. Because this guy is right beside Rhymes, and Lucky's all
Well,
long.
then there's that one guy. I think they're kind of playing a zone, so there's one guy in the far left of the screen.
This
He's
guy?
dropping back. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's what, 10 yards?
He's gonna
behind?
get beat. Yeah, he's gonna get beat. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he'll probably But yeah, I see what you mean.
So-
there's a chance for Lucky to score. If he catches
Yeah,
it score.
that's what. So from looking at the replay, I thought maybe that's what Evans was going for, and because he was so excited, he didn't kind of estimate properly that the guy was going right in front of him, right? Because that would have been a big play had Lucky caught that and ran all the way in.
Maybe a younger Dane Evans would sprint out to that release point a little fast, a little quicker, or maybe he would have kept running and then. But I guess he did try to square up, and he just lost. And then 95 closed on him.
Yeah,
Good play on him.
he closed them to a lot faster than Evans expected.
See, Evans is like, oh,
Yeah.
Did he even know?
Yeah, because he knows. Lucky that would have been a TD. Well, that's.
Game of inches.
Yeah, game of inches. Q3 stats, 20 to 14 first down, 115 to 174 passing, 149 to 39 rushing, net yards 254 to 200, turnovers 0 for 3 at this point. Red zone, Calgary is 4 of 4. We are 1 of 2, one of them being a turnover with a fumble. Right? So last quarter, this is Calgary punting. They
Second and 17 here.
no, not punting.
Yeah, this is dumb. And a flag. This was a hold.
What was I think I might have mislabeled it. What was this play?
Yeah, I mean, this is not a good tackling performance either. I think it might have been a hold.
Oh,
This is the roughing?
That's roughing the
Yeah, this is a
passer.
roughing pass.
That's roughing the passer, yeah. So the ball's gone, and you see Betts give Mayer a shove right there.
There should be some frustration on that one.
Yeah, I think he's frustrated at this point, right?
Probably getting held, getting tugged, getting everything, and then he's just done with it.
Yeah,
Defense is probably tired too by now.
yeah.
When you're down 3 scores again.
And you're getting
fourth
beat.
quarter.
You're getting beat like a rug.
I mean, they can't stop the run. You know, it's very frustrating. You can't stop the run.
Yeah. Okay, and then but they end up punting, so they didn't score on this drive. We get the ball back, and then Dane throws his second interception.
Judge.
So Cam Judge jumped really high here and pulled the ball out of the air.
When I saw this, he was in the box, and then he just dropped. And in post-game interview, Evans says he thought he could just drop it far enough.
Yeah, this is
But-
Cam Judge right here.
Yeah. So it's a good play on Judge's part.
As much as that hurts to say it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a good play. I mean,
Yeah.
hey, you gotta.
No, credit where credit's due.
Yeah, but then at that point, he thought he can just put it right over him. But
Yeah,
good play on his end.
yeah, he jumped pretty high there, extended.
But again, who is he going to? McInnis?
Who was that? Can't see the numbers. Could have been Cottoy. I
Either
think.
him and. Yes, it's one of the two guys, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, they're pretty much exclusively throwing to two guys. It's kind of easy to cover. You know, you're not really throwing to Rhymes. So, and they're just gonna take away the middle of the field.
Yeah. It was. Well, I think it was the same play, different angle. Yeah, good play on Judge. So, and then they score a field goal, and then we get the ball back, and this time we go 11 plays for 70 yards.
Now they're up 24 points.
Yeah.
4 scores. And then they're still playing. Calgary's actually playing a vanilla defense. It's that zone. We're gonna rough you up defense.
Yeah. So 11 yards to Hollins here. This next play, Evans takes a sack. Just a 3-man rush. 3-man rush. I think our center got beat there.
Hardy's trying to bleed out, but that's just bad.
Our center got beat.
And our right guard is, I don't know, just standing there.
Yeah. But this is not acceptable, right? A 3-man rush. You should be able to get a lot more than a few seconds like this.
Yeah, and it's bad. It's 3-man, getting a sack on 3-man rush, and you have 6 in protection. I know Hardy's bleeding out there, but
yeah. So, okay, same drive, 2nd and 18. Evans runs and gets 12 yards. So, yeah, and then now it's 3rd and 6. And he goes to McInnis again. So I don't know how many plays this game, but it seemed like there's a lot of plays that went to McInnis when we needed a first down.
Yeah, he had 8 targets and 7 catches.
Yeah. So how many of those were like must win?
I think at least 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say at least half a dozen.
If not all of them, like every catch I remember is like I think he took the Keon Hatcher's position.
Yeah.
So all of those plays, it would have been like Keon would have been on the target.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, he's very capable. So. Sorry, that's the same play. So next one here, 3rd and 1. So again on a 3rd and 1 we go to pass. Everything closes up, and then he runs forward and gets the first down. So that's good heads up thinking on Evans. So again, just looking at the silver lining for this game, right? It's good, meaningful reps for Evans.
Yep. With a team that's playing full speed.
Yeah.
That's what they're coming for him. They're coming to take people's heads off, so it's a good thing.
Yeah. So hope it doesn't happen. But if VA gets taken out, the drop off between him and Evans, isn't like huge, right? Okay. So here we're 2nd and 2. And it's a pass to Cottoy. He runs all the way in for a touchdown. So that was similar to the one earlier where he got stopped, but this time he muscled all the way through. So after this we go for a 2-point, which it's not successful, so we're at 16. And then Calgary gets the ball. We go for an onside kick, which fails. And then Calgary gets the ball, and then on a 3rd and 2, they end up getting a touchdown, which kind of puts like the nail in the coffin, right? 3rd and 2, we don't
he just ran by everybody.
3rd and 2, we don't just give him a first down; they actually get a touchdown.
Like, wouldn't you put in some of your backup defenders, right? He beats Lacombo and Moje.
So
they're
Peters just tagged him on the back.
So I can't see the number for this guy, but he needs to have contain. It's his job to do contain, right? But he doesn't contain. He moves in this way. He needs to go this way and establish containment. But he moves in and then.
Well, someone. Yeah, he's.
Yeah, no one pushes him. Yeah, no one pushes him in. In fact, number 80 is to his inside, and so 20 just beats him to the outside because he's too far in.
Lacumbo should know better. And he actually has been having a decent year. But, definitely not in that play.
Yeah, I think at this point, they probably checked out already mentally, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've mentally checked out because.
Well, they've been blocked. Look at like, you got O-lineman in the second layer. Haladic's being taken out.
Yep.
Another
the D line. No man on them.
In the middle.
Yeah.
Someone's trying to get around, but he's being held from behind.
A bear hug right here.
Yeah, I mean, of course, there's an official pretty close, but I guess holding in that spot doesn't count.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, Lacombo should have made that play, but I think he's mentally checked out. So that was it. They get a touchdown. That's a nail in the coffin, and then we decide to take a knee, the first of 3. And then Calgary, of course, takes 3 knees as well. Because there's one more I wanted to show you. So
I don't want to see another kneel, please.
No, not a kneel. But I want to get your reaction to this. Look at Dave Dickinson's expression. I don't know. Did you catch that?
Yeah, and that little
I'm thinking.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's thinking, a minute 28. I guess the game's over. They're taking a knee.
All right. They had enough. They're calling Uncle. I'm sure Greg has something to say about that.
Yeah.
They called Uncle. White. The white flag was given. They threw in the towel, Greg.
Yeah.
That is 3-dimensional reality TV bulletin board material. You don't need a newspaper clipping anymore. They got the live video, live action right there. And again, whatever their strategy was going into this game, to me, it was the wrong decision, or the wrong way to go about it. Good intentions, poor execution, however you want to say it. You have given Calgary way too much to come back in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Calgary will believe their press clippings.
Yeah.
And they're gonna.
I would hope so, because that's about the only chance we got. If we, again, like I said, if we're playing Possum, Academy Award, but if we're not, and this is a trend, then I'm not going to say the sky's falling. I'm not going to say it's the end of the world, but we're not going to get any further than we did last year. In fact, we may have regressed.
All right. Well, let's talk about the next Calgary game after the Passion Corner. All right. So this week, Passion Corner, Arthur's going to be doing it because Greg's on audio only. So you all set, Arthur?
I'm all set. Let's bring it.
Okay. Passion Corner with Arthur.
For the Passion Corner, you know what? We're going to throw some passion points because the game, it showed some of the Lions had some passion. First, McInnis. Justin McInnis made some big catches. We were saying 8 targets, 7 receptions, made some tough catches, and he was like the go-to guy. And he's been coming on. He had a good start. Maybe he didn't get a lot of touches. He was out of the lineup a bit, but now he's back in the lineup. And he's making the most of it. So in the last few games, he's had some passion points. So good on you, Justin McInnis, to make a stake to be on the team for next year. And the second passion point, Matthew Betts. You've been called out by Greg a couple times, and you responded. You have the record for the most sacks by a Canadian. Also, you let some other things creep into your game, a little loss of poise. But we know that you can do better, and you can hone in those whatever loose passion you may have. But we know that you have passion to sack the quarterback. So good on you. Got the record. That's awesome. Awesome. And, well, we're going to have to give some poop points. We talked about this already. First and goal on the 2, oh no. I think about it. My eyes close and Roland just in my ear. Hope he doesn't fumble. Dominic Davis, ay. The Winnipeg, I thought that was bad. 3rd and inches. That was a critical turnover on downs. Couldn't get the first down. We could have won the game, I think. This one just pretty much torpedoed this game. Mind you, mean-nothing game, in my opinion. But, poop point, again, this is... Even if they stuff you got to hang on to the ball. Oh. And the last poop... Oh, one more. Siema Tama. You've been a bit of a beast in the second half of the year. I thought you've done really well, but according to Rick Campbell, you are a repeat offender with these unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. So I think he went hard on you, and we're gonna go hard on you. We know you can bring it, and you're a beast out there, but you got to stay controlled. Take a number. Yes, bad things have happened, and the refs didn't see it. You know what? That happens a lot to our team right now. But you got to stay in control. You got to stay on the field. I think if we had you in the third quarter, maybe things are a little different because we were down by 14 points, but we'll never know. And the last poop point, we'll let Roland take this one.
All right. Thank you, Arthur. So the last poop point we're going to be giving to Coach Rick Campbell. Now, Coach, we really respect you for a lot of the things that you've done in terms of building up the BC Lions for where they are now from where they used to be. So you've done a lot of good things. But for this game, we're going to have to give you a poop point for a number of reasons. Number one, the team was not prepared, and that's on you, on preparing them. Were they supposed to win? Were they supposed to take it easy? There's mixed messaging. And as we mentioned, that caused a lot of confusion. Are they supposed to go all out and be aggressive? And then at the same time, the play calls, you call for a field goal with a first down at the end of the first half, with 13 seconds left. What message are you giving to the players? Are they supposed to win, or are they supposed to just take it easy? The play calls that was coming to the players was vanilla. How can they win with vanilla play calls? So that's on you. I hope that with the Calgary now coming back into town, that we can turn it around. And maybe you had some things up your sleeve. Maybe you didn't want to show some of our secrets to Calgary, and maybe you're going to prove us wrong in the semifinals. But for this game, for the confusion that the players had, for the undisciplined play, I know that the players do have a responsibility, but also the coach has a responsibility here. And so we're putting that on you, Coach Campbell. You're getting a poop point. So I'm passing it back to Arthur.
Yeah, it's just the play calling. I also have some concerns over vanilla play calling. Mind you, Calgary had a lot of play calling as well. Vanilla play calling in the second half as they're up 2, 3, 4 scores. Any honorable? I would say dishonorable mentions. O-line. You got to give our quarterbacks a little bit more time. Running game. We pass. Run blocking, running back production. We need more. And I would say secondary in the first few minutes. Oh, it could have got a lot uglier if those Calgary receivers didn't drop the ball. So, yeah, I think that's it. We're out on the Passion Corner.
All right, so we're back. Awesome. So we're back with the three of us. Last segment of the show. what does BC need to do and predictions for the semifinals? We know it's going to be Calgary now. Saskatchewan is out. So they're coming back into town. Thoughts? I guess we'll go with Greg first.
Well, I'm going to just sum it up really quick. What BC needs to do is everything that he didn't do this past game on Friday night. And we've been saying this for a while now, they've got to come with not only intensity, and I said it Friday night when I was talking to some guys in those forums. If I have to hear that they didn't have the energy, that Rick Campbell just noticed the energy wasn't there, I'm going to lose it. It's the playoffs. It's do or die. Any given, I guess we're going to call it any given Saturday, they need to come with not only intensity, but urgency, like Arthur, you mentioned today. They got to know that this game has to start fast, and it's got to stay fast. And they got to play a lot harder and a lot meaner. And they got to find that McNasty, especially in the trenches. That D-line being undersized and quick, well, the quick isn't fast enough to get some pressure on these quick release passes that we've been seeing everybody beat us with now. So Ryan Phillips, it is on you to not try to fit a square peg into a round hole. You got the talent that you guys put together with your GM and co-GM. You better have a scheme figured out this week on what you're going to do to maximize the talents of all those players. Because these players, to a man, are talented. But whatever they've been doing lately has not gotten the most out of them. Whatever they've been doing, the schemes have not reflected the talent that they have. And I don't know, Vernon, you better learn to make a decision a lot quicker. And I don't know if maybe it was his knee, but he's supposed to use his legs once in a while because that's what his daddy tells him. He ain't been listening to his daddy the last few games. I don't know if he's nursing it, if he was told not to try to run this game, but he's got to be mobile. Calgary, I don't think, can handle a mobile quarterback, but when they're sitting back there, sitting ducks, and I mean, you said it too, Arthur, getting three-man pressure, they've got to get nasty. They've got to be disciplined bullies for 60 minutes on both lines. They've got to win that battle in the trenches. That's where it all starts. Running game, everything else will fall into place, I hope, once the battle in the trenches is won. Heck, I even settle for a standoff with the trench battles right now.
Yeah.
You want me to throw my prediction out there as well?
Sure, let's do that.
Okay, I'm going to say... it's so hard. I got to get the last thing.
We got a bye week. We have a bye week.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to say Lions by 9.
What?
Oh, it's pretty good.
Okay. We have a bye week, so this is our first prediction. We may do another prediction.
I'm going to go watch their practice all week, and I'm going to see. No, I'm going to say Lions by 9. And I'm not very sure about that 9. It might be less, but I'm predicting the Lions win.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. That's a good prediction. I like it. All right, Arthur, thoughts on what...
Nobody can see me. I can say what I want.
No one can see you. You might be crossing your fingers and crossing your toes.
No, I've got faith. I mean, I've been at it with all these people in these forums and they say I'm not a fan. I'm a realistic fan that's got a little more insight, I like to think. So I'm going to say with what I've seen, yeah, that's an anomaly, we hope. But again, we've seen when other teams and other sports try to just turn on a switch. There's only few teams that can do that. And I'm hoping we're one of them because we need to be. But yeah, Lions by 9. I'm taking that to the bank.
All right. Arthur, thoughts on what the Lions need to do and predictions?
Oh boy, Roland. Yeah. I'm concerned about the Lions run blocking.
Yeah.
I'm concerned about their run offense, or running back production.
Yeah.
And I'm concerned about their run defense.
Yeah.
And Calgary, now with Carey kind of in form, they arguably have the third best running attack in the league.
Yeah. Well,
behind
with Logan now too. Right.
Yeah. So maybe and you're hitting a weakness in the Lions. Now they can scheme. I know because they're running vanilla schemes. They weren't really trying to stop the run. I think they did it decently against the run in the first quarter. But when they started to just fall back, but then it got beat deep, right? And those drop passes.
Yeah.
So Calgary's smart. They knew the Lions were going to stack the box to take away the run. They went man cover. They went man on some of these deep balls, or it looked like it. Maybe it was a zone, but then the safety had to take the deep guy, and they got behind them. So then, okay, well then we're gonna do maybe a little bit of a deeper zone, and then they were running the ball down their throat. So Calgary did a really good job. So can they do it again? It's hard to say, because the Lions weren't really that engaged from a player's point of view, and in my opinion, from the coach's point of view too. I think they were holding things back. So I'm not going to take a lot from this game, because because the Lions I don't think they were really trying that hard.
Yeah.
So right now I'm thinking it's a BC win by 3. It's going to be a very close affair, but I am really looking at Vernon Adams' health, and we need Adams at 85%. We need Adams to have at least a B, like an ABC grade, a B game. Anything lower than that, we lose.
Yeah.
And we need Hatcher back in the lineup. So if those things come into play, the Lions win by 3.
All right.
If they don't come into play, the Lions are going to get blown out.
All right. Okay, well, for me, Calgary's got one more game, and they're playing Winnipeg, of all people, of all teams. So we have a bye week, so we're going to be rested. They're going to be banged up. Even though it's a meaningless game for both teams, and maybe they might not play all of their starters, but whoever they play will be banged up. So that's something of a little bit of an advantage for us. What we need to do...
it's like a preseason game at the end of the year, right?
Yeah. but they can't protect all of their starters, right? So some of their O-line, their D-line, So they'll be... So from that perspective, our corresponding players will be a little bit healthier. We need to do more run plays. I think we need to play Hardy. We can't go back to Mizell. We need to play Hardy, and we need to call a few more running plays. He can consistently get 3 to 5 yards. I think he could do that. 3 to 5 yards he can consistently get. So even if it's 3 yards, that puts you at 2nd and 7, better than 2nd and 10, right? And if on the good side, he can get 10, maybe 5, maybe up to 10 yards even, right? So if we do that, then Calgary can't key on the passing. So if we call more running plays, then that'll take away Calgary's ability to key on our passing, and that'll free up Adams and the receivers to get better plays. So I think that's what we need to do on the offense. On the defense, I think we need to be super aggressive with the D-line, kind of like what we did with Edmonton, where every now and then we just tell Betts or whoever, forget about contain, just go in there and get Mayer. If we do that, then I think it's not going to allow Mayer to establish a rhythm. And if he can't establish a rhythm, then there goes their offense. Right, so if we can do those things, then I think we can win, and not just barely, but we can win well. What was the spread on our first 2 games? I want to look at that before I make a prediction. Our first 2 games with Calgary.
The first game was not close.
The one in Calgary?
Let me just look at it before I make my prediction. So, it's going way back. Okay. So,
first week of the season, Calgary, BC at Calgary, they won 25-15.
25-15. Okay, second game was week 10. BC won 37-9.
Yep.
So, I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to predict a 14-point win.
Ooh!
So if BC does what I just said, where we can get their offense off balance, and we don't allow them to key in on our passing game, I think we can easily win.
Well,
Did I go to the game with two guys that look like you two?
Well, I got to agree with Roland, because, I mean, that Calgary win in Week 10 was after the lambasting we took in Winnipeg. And the Lions must have looked themselves in the mirror and got, even if it's not Winnipeg, you come back, you got to get your pride back. And so maybe, they're going to get to play the team back to back, and they got to get some pride back. They got to get, they had their man card taken away in this game. Even though you played the vanilla diva, whatever, you had your man card taken away, if I can use a line from a movie.
Yeah.
And they need to get that man card back. And I think Roland is right. If they just let Betts do what he does and go find Mayer, and maybe if he doesn't even sack Mayer, just get Mayer off his game. When Mayer is off his game, he's really off his game. Much like other quarterbacks we know.
Yeah. Yeah, Mayer was weak the whole first half of the season, right?
Yeah.
So he's getting his form now, but if we can get him back to that confusion, we can.
Yeah, if we take away all those short reads of his, then you have to make him think, right? Because he's very good at that dink dunk game that Dave Dickinson relished, but we have to get him off balance like we did in the Western Semi last year. The D line's pretty much the same as last year, is it not?
Not sure.
Like our D line?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure, that doesn't really count. Tim is a year more mature. Well, maybe not after this game. But yeah, it's relatively the same.
Yeah, and then the other factor too is that we not only did we take a beating, we were completely humiliated in this game. And
yep.
I think the players, are taking that to heart.
They have to.
Yeah, they will. There's no way you can't, right? So they got 2 weeks to prepare. They got 2 weeks to get their minds and their bodies in shape. Mine's more important, I think, because they got to have the right mindset coming in.
So do the coaches.
Yeah, they made a lot of mistakes, a lot of penalties, and I can guarantee you that these 2 weeks they're thinking, how are we gonna go in there strong without taking stupid penalties? So I'm hopeful. So I'm being optimistic as usual. I'm hopeful, but I think it's not unrealistic to dominate and win by 14.
But let me ask you guys this question, two optimistic brothers, which is good. Hey, I hope you guys are right? Do you have more confidence in the Lions coming into the Western semifinal this year or last year?
I know exactly where he's going with this.
You guys are playing the same team, Calgary, and we're 2-1 in the regular season against them. So what is your confidence level versus this year
compared
versus
to last year? Compared to what was
it's not that easy. It's not that easy of a question.
It isn't
to answer.
What was our record last year going into the postseason?
I think we were 12-6, weren't we?
We were very close. Or was it 11-5?
Yeah, so
it was a big difference. It was of course, last year we had a hot start, and then some adverse.
Yeah.
We were 12-6 last year as well. Calgary was 12-6. We were tied with Calgary going into the playoffs.
Okay. Last year.
All right, Roland.
Rourke.
I know
what do you think?
I'm not saying it. Go ahead, bro.
Rourke played that game last year, right, against Calgary.
Oh, you had to go and say it. You had to say
it.
He started.
But he played a little in that last regular season game, right, just to kind of get his feet wet, and then. But your confidence level in the team.
See, last year we were. It's different because last year the confidence was in Rourke's playmaking ability. Right.
Someone was 4-2 as a starter down the stretch. I want to make man. Someone said that a few times, right, Greg?
Yeah, I can't remember who though.
But anyway, yes, your point.
Yeah. So Rourke had that X factor, which accounted for a lot of the confidence going into Calgary.
But the Lions had your favorite player on their team still.
But this year, we've seen the Lions go into Winnipeg and beat Winnipeg. Right. Last year, were we able to beat Winnipeg?
I mean, we only went there once and we lost.
Yeah. So.
And they came here once, and they beat us.
Yeah.
And the last
regular season game was backups. We couldn't win against Winnipeg last year. We won against Winnipeg this year. So, and that was without Rourke. So in terms of potential, I don't think our team's potential capability is any lower than last year. The biggest problem is that we're a little bit hot and cold. In terms of a team, we know we have weaknesses. The run game. If we win against Calgary and we show that we can address our weaknesses. Yeah. I think I'm more confident.
I'm gonna find an answer in there. I'm gonna find an answer in there.
I'm more confident this year.
You're more confident
because
this year.
Calgary's team last year was a better team.
It was a better team
than this year.
Yes.
Now Calgary's on a bit of a roll the last few games, but overall, I think Calgary's team last year was still a better team. So, given that if we're about the same level as last year, so BC this year and BC last year is about the same level, but Calgary this year is lower than Calgary last year, then I would say I'm more confident this year. Those are my thoughts.
All right. we got the disclaimers in first. Greg, what do you say?
Less confident.
You are and why? Why are you less?
Because we had a running game last year.
James Butler.
The O-line, was Broxton there last year or just towards the end of the year?
Toward the end, but Figueroa did play, right?
Yeah, but our O-line is bigger with Broxton and Knievel, but they're as aggressive. Okay, hang on, I better rephrase that. They're as soft as they were last year and just bigger. Bigger, softer doesn't. They haven't proven to me that they can be Rob Murphy nasty, and they need. Again, I'm harping on that. So I'm a lot less confident because they haven't given me a ball control game with a ball control drive that can overcome the lack of the run game. If they can do ball control with the passing game and keep the defense more rested, I'd have a little bit more confidence. But they haven't shown that to me this year. Yes, Adams has really good chemistry because he took all those receivers down and he worked with them all. But then his tunnel vision, I've nagged on it all year. It hasn't come to bite him in the butt. But then again, in those games where those interceptions were, he's got to look at other receivers besides Hollins and Hatcher. And I'm pumping Lucky's tires still. Great, trumpeting the great Lucky Whitehead. But there's 5 receivers that everybody marvels at. You got to use all 5 to make up for that lack of running game. And he's got to make a 3-second decision because he's got to know that O-line's not going to give him more than 3 seconds. He's got to know that. And it's either got to be with his feet or with his head. He's got to make a decision and do it. But I am less confident than last year because I haven't seen enough balance to compensate for lack of a run game.
But you're still predicting a 9-point win.
Oh, yeah. The question was, am I more confident or less confident than last year?
Okay.
I am less confident than last year.
All right.
Because like you said, Roland, if I could borrow your line too, the Lions have been too hot and cold this year. Last year, they weren't hot and cold. They just couldn't beat Winnipeg. This year, I don't know if they've done enough to address that because, heck, there was 2 soul-sucking losses at home to teams that are not Winnipeg. And yeah, you can say we went into Winnipeg week 3 and beat them. Yeah. Maybe Winnipeg took us lightly. Who knows? But Winnipeg sure made us forget about that win. quickly.
Well, we gave them a hell of a game a few weeks ago here. Really, we should have won the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should have, but we didn't.
Yeah, but I
Because
mean,
we didn't play for 60 minutes.
well,
We
I mean,
didn't put the foot on the throat. We didn't put the dagger in.
third and inches, you don't make it. But even had a chance. Dom needed to go down around the 35-yard line. Didn't do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, think about it. You need third and inches. That O-line should take it personally to just tee off on a Bomber jersey on the other side. Hit him as hard as you possibly bad word can. And they didn't.
Well, what happened is the Bombers took it personally.
Yeah, they did. The Bombers take every game against the Lions personally because they got embarrassed at home. Then they said, okay, we're going to show our home fans what we're really like. And they embarrassed us. And they came in here. And yeah, they hung around, but they know how hard they got to play to beat us.
They kind of stole one. I mean, you can even say the Lions kind of let it slip out of their hands,
let it
right?
slip,
I mean,
yeah.
did the Lions lose that Winnipeg game more at home, or did Winnipeg go and grab it?
Either way, the stakes were way higher. The stakes were as high for both teams, right? Because it was a lock on first place, was it not?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Either
Yeah.
one of the way, yeah. So the Lions, you would think, again, I'm going to go back to that X factor, the emotional quotient, the EQ. They were at home.
Yeah.
They need to give their fans a reason to back them. Why were the Winnipeg fans sometimes just as loud as the Lions fans in there when there were supposedly more Lions fans in that stadium?
Well,
Why did the offense go pop gun at the wrong time? No killer instinct. So again, all of this put in my head, in my heart, less confident going into this playoff game with Calgary. Even though we're at home, yes, I'm predicting a victory, but I am less confident than last year.
All right. How about you, Arthur?
it's tough, you guys make all great points. Calgary's not as good as last year in terms of their overall record. But I think Carey is more in form going into playoffs this year than last year for whatever reason. Now, Carey had a great year last year, but I think he went a sputter down the stretch. But now he looks like he's in form. And then they got Logan, right?
Yeah.
Very dangerous.
They had Logan last year too, didn't they?
Yeah, I think they did. But I think obviously this last game, again, when we were putting a lot of... I've been saying it, right? CFL, 9-team league. It's what you do in October. If you get hot in October, you can knock out a favorite very easily because you're just hot at the right time.
Yeah.
And I've been saying it for a while. The Lions have been sputtering, right? They were in the middle of the season. They went 500, and then I predicted a 500 record in the last 6 games. They went 4-2. I was telling Roland, Arthur, you're explaining. I said they're gonna go 3-3, and they went 4-2, and they had the miracle comeback against Ottawa to get that 4th win. So they've been kind of 500-ish. They've been one game over 500 for the vast number of weeks. I'm just not liking the energy on this team. They need more ways to gain momentum. They need more playmakers to happen, right? It seems like they gotta get the momentum by their passing game. They get momentum by getting sacks. Their linebackers, they're good. They get a lot of tackles. They're not necessarily punishing. We had a couple of games we applauded them for hitting hard.
Yeah, but that was Bozier and Gumba, yeah.
Yeah, we haven't seen as much lately. Remember we talked about how the Lions rallied, like they didn't give much. There wasn't much separation on the receivers, and their secondary just hit hard and closed on them fast.
Yep.
We haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Nope.
It's because the teams are now doing double moves in our secondary, and they're taking it deep. And now the Lions are like afraid they're going to get beat deep because they were being exposed by Winnipeg and Toronto and the third string quarterbacks. Remember, guys? I know you try to forget that.
Yeah.
So they were getting beat by third string quarterbacks deep. So that's probably taken away their aggression in the beginning of the year. I'm very concerned about the overall team. Yes, I'm going to go with Rourke and VA, and I love VA. Of course, Rourke's at another upper level. There's a drop off there for sure. But the other facets of the team, I'm getting concerned. And I still think they're going to win, but I'm a bit less confident.
So you're less confident than last year too?
Oh yeah, for sure. 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, even if I take away the quarterbacks, if I said last year's team, no Rourke, I mean, just like the quarterback position is just a wash. And it isn't. It's the most important position on the field. Quarterbacks aside, I'm less confident. Then you layer in the quarterbacks, layer in a banged up Vernon Adams, who has played very well. I think he's going to be probably the yards passing leader. We'll see what happens, in this week. And then with Rourke having an unreal year, but having a massive injury, I'm concerned. I'm concerned in some points. Now, hey, they can. I think they can win at home.
Yeah.
Like they gave Winnipeg everything they can handle at home when BC was at home. So I think that they can win. It's just I'm not as confident in that win as last year. I think it was a 2-3 score game, right? They won by 3. Yeah, Western Semi.
Western Semi, sorry, 30-16.
Yeah. That was a great game. That was probably the best game of last year, probably, right?
Yeah, that was every aspect of the game firing on all cylinders, passing, running, second. It was great.
Yeah.
They had it all.
Yeah, we'll see. We're gonna probably kick it around a little bit more.
Yeah.
We have a bye week. We're gonna probably do, we'll see. We'll the brothers will meet up and we'll decide if we want to do an episode and do a wrap up, or we'll just wait another week. We'll see. But yeah, that's my prediction for now. And then we're gonna watch the injury report, and then we're gonna see that we may change. I mean, if Adams can't play, my prediction will change.
Yeah. Well, there's no reason why he can't play, but you never know. Yeah. As long as he doesn't get hurt in practice or something.
Let's just wrap him up and bubble wrap. I don't know.
All right, so I guess we'll call it at that. So thanks, guys, for tuning in. As usual, if you like if you enjoy this show, please give us a like and subscribe. Tell your friends about it. We're shooting for 100 subscribers so we can start the live streaming. That's the threshold that YouTube requires, 100 subscribers before they'll enable live streaming for our channel. So thanks again. We'll catch you next time.
Hit that big thumbs up button for the like. Comments below. Let us know. Let us know if you agree with me and disagree with Greg, like usual. Then put it down there. Greg is totally agreeing with that comment. But yeah, like and subscribe, please, and comment.
We need the feedback, folks. We need the feedback.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Have a good night.
Take care.
See you.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.